Now, when we're talking about mental warfare secrets, the first foundation you need is you need integrity. A building is only as strong as its foundation. If you build a mansion on a weak foundation, the mansion is weak. A chain being as strong as its weakest link. So you need a foundation of integrity, of morality, of purpose and outcome. What is your purpose? What is your outcome? I mean, you're just after more money, more women, more wine, woman, and song. So you're just an animal of pleasure. Then you will always be at the effect of mental manipulation. Why? Because you're sense-oriented. If you're simply stimulus or sense-oriented, if you are a sense realm thinker, then you'll always be manipulated. You'll always be mind controlled by other forces, powers, and people and circumstances. Morality, purpose, integrity, and outcome is what keeps you on the track. It's what keeps you. You're a train too, don't forget. We'll also show you how to never allow others to stop your train from moving where you want it to go. Do you see? So you start with a foundation. You start with a purpose. That is crucial. Crucial to the beginning. You need to figure out, what are your values? What do you value most? Now, wealth is a necessity. In this world, to operate, you need a lot of money. Otherwise, you're just getting along, just scraping by all the time and never able to accomplish anything. But there should be a purpose. Why do I want this much money? Why do I want this? Not simply because it feels good, because if you're a feeling person only, then you'll always be able to be manipulated and hypnotized. There are two kinds of people. There are warriors and there are peasants. Warriors are didactical thinkers, and what that means is they are positional. They think strictly in terms of their foundation, of their purpose. They are what you would call positional. They take a position. They start from a position. Peasants tend to think relationally or dialectically. They're dialectic thinkers. In other words, a dialectic thinker, dialogue, means, what do you think? Well, what do you think? How do you feel about this? That's how a peasant thinks. A warrior doesn't care how he feels. He's going to do the right thing, the integrous thing, the moral thing. Oh, he has mercy. Oh, he has compassion. Oh, he has artistic creativity and appreciation. But the difference is that he is objective to those things. A warrior is an objective thinker. Objective, didactic, positional. A peasant is a subjective thinker. And thus, the king's subjects are peasants, aren't they? Do you get it? You may have been a subjective thinker all of your life. I was for many years. It's part of our programming. We're programming to think subjective. Now, as a small child, you are subjective to your parents. And to a degree, as an adult, you're subject to society, government, and laws. However, the warrior remains objective. He is in the world, but he is not of it. He is not at the effect of it. Does that make sense? He carefully chooses his path and guides himself. Think about warriors who come to America from other countries. Maybe they have to escape the Iron Curtain or escape, real political refugees who come here for freedom. Wow. What did they do? They got very objective. They said, I'm not going to be a subject. I am object, so I shall escape to freedom. And we welcome here the land of the free and the home of the brave. Does that make sense? Now, a warrior's mindset is objective. A peasant is subjective. So your whole thinking, all of your life, you may have been a subjective thinker. And what that means is, like Pavlov dog, they know how to control you. Most people are subjective thinkers. Most people are emotional thinkers. They operate on emotion. Therefore, they are like a software, like a computer that you can easily program and control, because all of the buttons are right laid out. The fear button, the lust button, the greed button. Does that make sense? Like a computer keyboard. And once you understand, pushing those buttons is using words. I'm giving you the analogy of a computer because just about everyone who's listening to me uses a computer to go on the internet, to type a document. And you push certain buttons, don't you? And you hit send, don't you? So you can click different buttons in the peasant thinkers. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you become a warrior thinker, a warrior mindset, and even beyond thought, then you aren't going to be manipulated when others try to push your buttons. Does that make sense? Having a foundation and a purpose. It's vital and crucial that you understand this. Because if you just go straight for the techniques and you don't understand the foundation, your house of mental warfare secrets is going to be weak. If you want it to be strong, you're going to need to know this. See, listen, there are 3 master keys that you must know in order to apply mental warfare secrets successfully. Number 1 is that human beings are made of energy. And your energy is always radiating magnetic force. Force that either pushes away what you want or attracts what you want. There is never a time when your magnetic force isn't working, even when you're sleeping. Now, remember earlier how I said Bruce Lee talked about I am expressing myself when I punch and so forth. Everything is an expression. That expression is a magnetic force radiating from you. I mean, have you ever noticed that someone pissed off walks into a room and you can just feel it? Or someone afraid, you can taste their fear right in the air. I mean, dogs recognize this. Someone will walk by a dog and the dog could care less. Someone else walks by that same dog. Just a minute later, dog bites him because that person is freaked out and scared. So we have attractive and push away from detractive, if you will, energies. Things that detract from what we want or attract what we want. Does that make sense? Number 2 is that every word you say has power. Every word you say has power. Every gesture and look and everything, every movement has power. But every word you say has power. It's most important. And if you don't understand hypnotic commands and phrasing, if you don't understand this foundation and be able to apply these words effectively, then everything you say actually pushes away what you want most of the time. See, this master key, it's the key to getting everything you want. Understanding hypnotic commands and phrasing and getting it down into your system where it is it's subconscious. You're not reciting like a beginning actor who has memorized some lines and says them choppily. It's just natural flow. And once you understand the keys I'm going to give you, it will flow naturally. Just click. You'll cognite. You'll understand. The same rule applies for your body language and eye contact. Every word you say has power, and the same thing with your body language and eye contact. And number 3 is probably the most important of all. You need to understand this, that your emotional response transfers control to your opponent or to your target. Your target might be the beautiful lady you want to date with, or it might be that potential client to cut you a big fat check, or it might be your opponent, someone you're competing with to get that lady or that client or an adversary. Your emotional response transfers control to your opponent or your target. I mean, this is true in a bloody street fight. This is how a smaller guy destroys a big scary guy. You ever see that? I've seen that. I mean, a little guy destroy a big guy. How'd he do that? I couldn't have done that. How'd he do it? I'm trained. He wouldn't even change. The guy just went wild. He was totally unafraid. He did not respond emotionally. He just remained tactical and practical and objective and just smashed right in there. And what he did was he put the thug in a state of emotional response. Does that make sense? Creating that moment of fear and doubt. And it's the same thing. It's how the nerdy broke guy gets the pretty girl. And you wonder, well, he must be rich. She wouldn't like him. That guy's ugly. No, he's not. Well, how'd he do it then? He doesn't look great. He's not rich. How'd he do it? Because he didn't respond emotionally. And beautiful women are used to guys being intimidated and responding emotionally. And so all that energy pushes away, in fact. And it transfers control to them. And you leave it up to them and they say no. But when the little nerdy guy who's broke didn't respond emotionally, she did. She said, what is it about this guy? What's different? Transferred control to him. And she gladly gave that control. Do you see? Do you see that? This is crucial. Go back and listen to it again if you missed it.